Hiya, hiya. It's me, Moira. I am going to do a wee quickie on the basis that I managed to get my hair cut, so I've got something to say in terms of I got my hair cut, if you know what I mean. So when I say I've got something to say, I've got something to write about, I suppose. That for once is a kind of positive thing. So let's get our little book. I mean, there's not a lot I've got to say in it, but you know, we can do a wee something. Right, so we've got a wee blank page there. That's the pages we done the other day. I've got my wee pocket there, and I've got another wee pocket. The other pocket that I did the other day. There it is, next to my tip in. And I think I'll use this because I do have something I can put in it, albeit it's quite big. Hold on, can you see that okay? So I went to Heather's Hair Beauty Makeup Studio, right? That makes it look very exotic. It's not quite that exotic, I have to say. But the wee lassie did a good job. It was a wee lassie called, what was her name? Oh sugar, I can't remember. Ashley. It was a wee lassie called Ashley. So we can put that in this wee bit here when we... Oh, there's the price list on the back, I didn't know that. Let me see. Ladies dry cut, wet cut, blow dry, cut and blow dry, that's what I got. I got cut and blow dry, and I think I must have paid the 23 quid because I got a fair wee bit off my hair. It will be considerably cheaper the next time. Because I can either go for the old dry cut or I can go for the cut and blow dry at 19. Actually, that's not taking an awful lot off it, is it? See, I should be getting this seniors, but I'm not old enough yet. Anyway, not to worry. So we can put that in our wee bit here. I'll maybe decorate round about it, shall I? I'll put a wee something in the page. It's not going to give me an awful lot of room for writing, mind you, but I brought out those crafty individual stamps as well, so you could have a wee look at them. Right, my ladies that I used in the book that I did, the, what do you call it, book? The giveaway. Oh, Timmy, do you know, it's been quiet all day. I swear to goodness, as soon as I put on the camera. Right, anyway, my... Timmy! Just a minute. Timmy! Shush! Timmy! Hi! Quiet. Some wee dog. There's a wee dog barking about 4 miles away. If it's... Timmy, stop it. He's got to respond to everything that barks, no matter how far away it is. Anyway, here's the original stamps, and it came in a strip like this. What you do is you get the red rubber, and then you get this bit that you stick to it, and then you cut them out. And I'll admit, it is quite difficult to cut round them because your scissors, this is exceptionally sticky, this stuff. I can't remember what it's called, but crafty individuals sell it. It's exceptionally sticky, and when you're cutting, it tends to stick to your scissors. So you need to basically watch what you're doing. But having said that, I mean, I managed, and they're not very attractive in the back, but then who's looking at them? As long as you can get what you're looking for out of it, you know, you can actually stamp something, then that's, you can't ask for more than that. So we can do a wee bit of stamping here. I need to get my wee things, my inks and my wee acrylic block. I've got a wee word that says imagine, so we can maybe stick that on our page. Everything else that's in this box tends to be quite, they're all kind of, these particular stamps that I've got are all either my ladies here or they're kind of perfumery related things. And since I suppose it's a page about beauty, these are appropriate. So let's see what we can put in. I don't think we've got this eau de toilette stamp, so we can add that. We could actually do it in a different coloured ink, come to think of it, simply because we are doing it kind of girly. I'll put the vintage sepia away and we'll see how we get on with this Victorian velvet, which is, this one's a distress ink, and I must admit, ordinarily I would not use a distress ink for stamping, mostly because you tend to find that its actual, the quality of the stamp isn't phenomenal, but it'll do for this, hopefully, and it won't have spoiled the page. If it has, we'll stick something on it. No, that's okay. I mean, it's not brilliant. That's what I mean about it not being brilliant. You don't get a perfect copy each time. It tends to be quite literally distressed looking. So it's not brilliant, but it does the trick, as they say. Now, hold on while I knock over my lace that lies on my desk. Right, I don't know, I might not have... See, there's not really enough room for that. I've not got a lot of room to play with on this page. I don't really need a lot of room. This one says perfumerie. I can stick that down the bottom. Stick it there. Again, when you're doing, you know, if you do stamping in your books, there is no law that says when you're stamping for something like this in particular that you need to make everything, ideally you do want to make it straight, but you can, you don't need to make it all go in the right direction, if you know what I mean. You can be your own man when it comes to adding stuff on. I'm not going to try and make sure I get it the right way up. I don't want to do it upside down. Sometimes that's not always the easiest. I think the pink will go quite well with the pink that's on this image here. I've got a couple of wee, these are wee I don't know what you call them, wee flourishes, I suppose, that we can just add to the page here and there. In fact, it might have made more sense if I added the wee flourishes when I was done, because it could well be that there's wee gaps I want to fill. So what we'll do is we'll put that wee flourish there and I'll leave that on my thing. Got this pen to work yesterday, by the way. Now I was talking about I bought this pen for doing the staged photos. Got it working. I don't know why, but for some reason they tipped the top with the same sort of colour as this kind of rose gold colour, and I thought it was going to be a rose gold pen, but it's not. Right, it's black. Right, what is today's date? Of course, I do this every day. What is today's date? We'll need to go back to Friday. Friday is the 23rd, Saturday 24th, Sunday is the 25th, Monday was the 26th, so today must have been the 27th. So we can write in 27, 8, 19, had a haircut. Ashley at Heathers. I'm going short again. Been a while. I'm reasonably happy. It will certainly take less time in the morning. My hair has been, most of my life I've had shortish hair. I've went through phases I get growing it a bit, but not always growing it all over, growing bits at the back and keeping the front quite short. And I've been reasonably happy with that. But the last, I got it cut, I honestly got it cut about 3 weeks ago, and I was, honestly, it was, she'd done it okay until she'd washed it, cut it, dried it, it looked fine, but then in her infinite wisdom, the girl that was doing it at that point decided it was a really good idea to chop into it, as she said. And the problem with chopping into it was that she then left it a bit uneven as far as I was concerned, and I wasn't really entirely happy with how it had come out. I mean, it was fine at the time until I washed it the next day, and I thought, that looks absolutely awful, and I literally did have to chop a wee bit off it because it was, I mean, it was just everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Right, I think, will I add, see, I would add a wee dress here, but the problem with adding a wee dress is it's going to cover my words, so I'll not bother adding a wee dress. I think, did I put down a wee stamp? Yeah. Oh, there it's saying. I was going to type the word imagine. So I'll put that in with another wee flourish. I might actually stick the wee dress on the other page. I used to be, well, you know, when you're younger it's so much easier, but you're quite interested in your appearance and you make the effort and you buy dresses and whatever and look good and get your hair done, whatever. But as you get older, there's less and less occasions to go out for, and consequently you kind of lose interest a wee bit. I think we'll put some of these wee flourishes on this as well, because I quite like this page with the music and the tip in. And I could add the wee dress there. I could stick a wee dress there, so as I could that's quite nice. Just noticed there was a wee spot that should have come out there. Where's my glue? Now, I'm going to use this Zig pen at the top if I can, because there's a wee kind of like coat hangery bit that's never going to stick down unless I can get something on it, but I really need to be careful because I don't want to have, because it's a metallic card, when you get glue on it, it's really noticeable, and it's quite difficult to tidy it up. I mean, you can tidy it up, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. So we'll put that wee dress there. Try to make sure I've stuck it straight. Got another wee dress, I could put that just down a wee bit. I can remember when dresses like this would have fitted me. Well, they probably would still fit me, but I just I don't really have the appearance to go with it. Now, I want to stick them down, but I don't want to use my fingers, because with the best will in the world, your fingers are always a wee bit grubby. So if I use the acrylic block to weigh it down, that can help. And what we can do is, I'll put away that ink just now. I'll just fold this up and tuck it in my wee pocket. I need to, at the point when I made the haircut, when I got the haircut a couple of weeks ago, the person that I got it cut with at that point, I made an appointment, a subsequent appointment, to get it redone after 6 weeks or whatever. So that's due in a couple of weeks' time, so I'll need to phone her and cancel her. I don't really want to come right out and say, look Hen, you're crap, but she is. And I mean, it's very much your luck when you get your hair cut, isn't it? Because sometimes you go to somebody and they're brilliant, and then they can tackle somebody else's hair and be absolutely atrocious. So I'm not saying the girl has no talent, but she just didn't do a very good job with mine. I should have known, actually, because see, the day that I got it done, there was somebody else in getting their nails done, and the girl who cut my hair nipped over to plait that girl's hair, the girl that was getting her nails done, and I remember looking in the mirror, because she was behind me, so I was looking at her reflection, and I thought, that looks awful. I mean, it was one of these things that, you know how young folk aren't, they'll have a style and it doesn't necessarily need to be really neat and tidy, whereas with me, I like everything to be very neat. If you've got a pattern in your hair and it's squint, I can spot it a mile away and I hate it. But she'd made a right pig's ear of trying to plait this girl's hair, but the girl was perfectly happy with it. And I thought, well, you know, maybe that might well be your style, and that's fair enough. But if you come up and do that to me, I would slap you into next week. And as it is, she did. The only problem being is it wasn't immediately obvious with mine until I washed it the next day and realised that I couldn't do anything with it. But there you go. You live and learn. Anyway, there we go. So that's today's page. Just check, is that in? I'm trying to make sure. So I've got a wee bit of writing which said, had a haircut, Ashley at Heather's. I've gone short again, been a while, so I'm reasonably happy. It will certainly take less time in the morning, because I really did. I mean, I was getting to the stage where I was spending something like 35-40 minutes trying to do my hair, so that looked neat enough to go out. So we'll put that in with that, and we'll stuck those wee dresses down there with our wee bits of stamping, and we'll put our tip in over, and that is our book till the next time. So we'll see what we've got to report, and wait a minute, I'm trying to find the centre. We'll see how things pan out over the next few days, and what, if anything, I've got to write. I don't think there's been an awful lot happening, actually. I sold some stamps on eBay, because there are some stamps that I know with all this hoo-ha about not so much copyright, but these angel policy things. Copyright's one thing, angel policies are another. Angel policies are obviously what particular companies feel should be done in relation to their work. And while I can appreciate that people want to protect their artistry, I think if you're selling something like that as a stamp for folk to use as a tool, I think it's really unreasonable to sell it to people and say just use that for personal use. Because let's face it, how many times do you want to use one stamp in relation to maybe making cards. You're not going to make 20 cards for family members that all look the same because you've used the one stamp. The whole reason about buying the stamps is that you want to buy different stamps to do different cards for different people at different times, and in that respect I think it is quite unreasonable for folk to have exceptionally restrictive angel policies. Some do, some don't. Some are perfectly reasonable people. I'm not saying for an instant to abuse anybody's art, because I mean, let's face it, if you're stamping something, you're not going to stamp it and then photocopy it 400 times, which is what I think most of them are planning and stopping you doing. They don't want you to do that. They don't mind you stamping stuff 20, 30 times to use as a handmade card. Because let's face it, that's probably more than you'll ever use a particular stamp. I doubt if there's any stamp that I've stamped more than 20, 25 times, and I've been making cards for, I don't know, probably at least 15, 20 years. You get bored and you want to shake it up, you want to change the things that you're doing. You don't want to keep using the same images day in, day out. That's why you buy different stamps. So when you come across a really restrictive policy, it's annoying. It really is. So in that respect, I have started selling stamps from companies that I know have restrictive policies. Hero Arts is one. I don't think they're overly keen on you selling them without giving them some sort of mention or logo. Another one's Stampin' Up. Thankfully don't have an awful lot of Hero Arts or Stampin' Up stamps, but what I have got I've started selling, and I'll just go through what I've got and sell on eBay things that I'm no longer using, and that'll be that. So anyway, that's us. So that's our book for today. I might actually do a couple of tags with a view to using them in the book. I wasn't going to do things like that because I didn't think I would really use them, but I might make a couple of tags simply to shake things up a wee bit and not just be boring and sitting rambling away the way I do. So I don't know, we'll see how we're placed for time wise, but anyway, that's us for the time being today. Thanks very much for your time. I'll see you all again hopefully before this week's out, because it's only Tuesday, so but I dare say, I know Friday my car's going in to get a service. My husband's off his work, so we'll see how it goes. I might get a chance to do a wee craft with me on Friday if I don't do anything before that, and obviously I'll have the car to talk about, because it's a bit of a nuisance when you get your car in to get serviced. And I mean, in my case, that I'm far enough away from the shops that if I don't have access to another car, I'm stuck in all day, and that's a bit of a nuisance. Oh well, it's not that much of a nuisance because it means I could sit and watch YouTube all day. Anyway, a better away. I might actually, see when I do the next craft with me, I might bring in some other stamps just to let you see them, and I might bring in some dies, because I know that folk are interested obviously in maybe thinking about buying a die cutting machine, like a big, what is it, Big Shot or whatever. You know, there are die, a lot of the companies, I know, I'm pretty sure Sizzix does one. Sizzix makes the Big Shot, right, but I'm pretty sure there's a wee kind of mini type Big Shot, a wee shot. So I don't know what it's called, but I know there are a few companies that do little die cutting machines, which could be invaluable for folk, you know, if you don't want to shell out the money on a Big Shot. The likes of something like that would go in one of the wee machines, you know, you get wee tiny cutting plates and whatever, and it's for smaller dies, and it could be something that you want to consider when it comes to making stuff, because it adds another wee dimension to your crafting work. Anyway, that's us for the day, for the time being. So I shall speak to you before the week's out, but I'm not entirely sure when, so keep an eye open for my channel. I think if you hit the wee bell icon, it lets you know when I've uploaded a video, and to be fair, it's probably the best way of knowing, unless you check regularly, the folk that you subscribe to, because it's really easy to miss videos, and they do not promote you if you are not already popular. And I know I've got something like 3,500 subscribers, but I had 3,600 last week, so it's anybody's guess where the folk disappear to in terms of Google's calculation of what you've got and what you don't have in way of subscribers. And even with that number of subscribers, I do not automatically appear in your recommended videos, because there will be other people who have more subscribers than me, who produce videos more often than me, who will get precedence in terms of being advertised by Google. That's the bottom line, and I know that's how it works. So that's one of those things that I do get really annoyed at, because I think it's really unfair for smaller channels, and obviously there are many channels even smaller than me who have even less chance of being discovered. So unless you actively really promote yourself, which I don't, because I don't blow my own trumpet very much, but unless you actively promote your channel and gather subscribers by hook or by crook, you're just, you might as well sit with a layer of dust on you like Miss Havisham, because that's effectively what you've become. Anyway, right, I'm not griping. There's no point in going on and on. Thanks for your time today. I'll see you all hopefully before the week's out. Just remember to either hit the bell icon or check your subscription feed every day, as opposed to just your recommended videos, because if you look at your recommended videos, you'll miss out on people you have subscribed to. They don't automatically appear for you. So thanks very much for your time. See you all again soon. Bye.